Welcome to EA Basketball. You know, in the history of the NBA, there have been many great players, many great teams, and many great moments. But there's never been anyone quite like the player we're watching now. The man who has risen from obscurity to greatness. The man who has defied all expectations and limitations. The man who has become a legend in his own time. He was not a highly touted prospect. He was not a lottery pick. He was not a superstar from day one. No, he had to work hard to overcome challenges, to prove himself. He had to earn his reputation, recognition, and respect. You see, he had to become Himmy Butler. The man who never gives up. The man who always delivers. The man who is fearless. And he has been unstoppable in these playoffs, averaging 38 points per game, breaking records left and right, and backing down from no man. He has carried the Miami Heat on his back, overcoming adversity and silencing the doubters, some of whom said he couldn't win one game. And my friends, along the way, he has shown no fear, no mercy, no weakness. He has faced the best of the best and emerged victorious. He has given us unforgettable moments, moments that will live forever in our minds and our hearts, moments like his franchise playoff record 56 points against the Bucks in Game 4, or his miracle shot that sent Game 5 into overtime to seal the series win, moments that have made us scream, cheer, cry, moments that have made us believe. But my friends, he is not done yet. He has more challenges ahead of him, yes, and he will not back down. He is ready to face his destiny, to cement his legacy, to claim his throne, for he is Himmy Butler, third of his name, king of the clutch, Jimbo Buckets, Jimmy G Buckets, and the G stands for Gets. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the legend of Himmy Butler, the man who defies all odds and leads his team to glory. He is not just a basketball player. He is Himmy Butler, and he is him. Welcome to EA Basketball. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Yay Basketball, the basketball game show. Monday, May 1st, 2023, recording live from the Yay studio. I'm your host and producer, Michael Padilla. Along with me today, I have one, Bob Aldrich.
You know, my middle name is also Gets.
That's awesome. As well as one, Justin Moore.
My middle name is Doesn't Gets.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with something like Acquires.
Should have. I think you mispronounced
Close.
his name in that.
What?
It's Himmy Butler.
I did drop that in there, I think. All right, thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. We do appreciate it. A beast of an episode ahead of us today. That was just the first of many surprises. Don't get ahead of yourselves. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share with friends, and follow us at Yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Add me on the ground.
Last week, we played What Did He Say?, a new game called Adjust the Rotation, and a new segment called Off the Glass, in which Bob told us about a Kevin Love movie that's in the works, but it's actually not in the works, but then there's another movie that's in the works with Kevin Love in it, and he says cheeseburger, and then Justin told us all about Joel Embiid's new pastry shop.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Turnovers.
It was a lot of fun. It was a great episode, so be sure to check that one out if you have not already. As I mentioned, big episode today. So Justin, before we dive in, can we get an update on the scoreboard for April and a recap of our picks from last week that wrapped up the month?
You can indeed. So, last week, me and Trey hit our bets, which pulled Trey out of last place and into third place. 1,500 big ones. He had Zubats over 9.5 rebounds. He had 10 rebounds. What a line.
What a line.
Coming together for us here. Bob, you had Westbrook over 25.5, and he fell apart. He had 14.
Three of like 18 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I had Jaylen Brown's over at 27.5 versus the Hawks. He had 35, so that was good. Should have had a little more guts, and then I could have won this month, but I didn't win this month. Michael won
Of
this month with
course.
2,750 points.
Back
he
at
did
it.
have Rui Hachimura's over 18.5, and he had 9. So that wasn't great. But so this is yours. I present to you
Oh, it is?
my
I'll take
trophy
that.
and crown.
Mine, you mean?
Yes, yeah,
I've
yes.
now had it more than you.
Yes. It's like Lakers Celtics here. That's what it's gonna be like.
It is like Lakers
Bob,
Celtics.
but that does mean you are in last place, which means
It is
Stein
time.
of
Stein of
Pain.
Pain. Go ahead and throw your hand in that, rude boy, and get something.
It's time for Bob's Stein of Pain.
It's time for
Bob's
Bob's
Pain.
Pain.
All right, here we go.
What'd you get?
Oh, Lord. God! Where are you from? Pick an accent. That's how you talk now.
Awesome. Next week, you got an accent the whole show.
Oh, God.
It's open-ended. It's any accent of your
Yeah.
choice.
but
I have
All show.
a whole week to practice.
Yeah, you've got a lot of time. Don't
All
worry
right,
about
okay.
it.
learn a whole language.
Looking forward to it.
If you want, you can call maybe you could ring up like Sky or Sal or one of those guys.
Boston PD.
Boston, love it. All right, everybody. Like I said, full episode today, so let's just get right to it with our first game of the day, which is Swish or Miss. All right, it's Swish or Miss. Here's how this one works. I will read the two of you a recent detailed NBA headline. It will be your job, Justin and Bob, to tell me if the headline is correct, Swish, or if a detail in the headline is incorrect, Miss. If you believe it is a miss, you must tell me what detail is incorrect for double or nothing. If you are right, you receive 100 points. If you are wrong, I receive the points for that round. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. Round one. The Miami Heat upset the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks in just 5 games, thanks in large part to superstar forward Jimmy Butler. Butler averaged 38 points and 6 rebounds while shooting 61% from the field. The Heat squared off against the New York Knicks for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals and now lead the series 1-0. Gentlemen, Swish, your miss.
I think it's a swish.
I think so, too. The only thing that might be different would be
The
field-
percentage, yeah. The field
Exactly.
goal percentage,
And
but
it's not 61, it's 59%. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm still okay with calling it a swish. You
Yeah,
know? I think he'd be nice to us to start off the game. Right?
Swish.
Swish.
Swishy
Swish,
McFlishy.
final answer.
Final.
answer.
That is correct. Well done. All right, pretty much gave you the details already. So, Bob, how shocked were you by the Heat's upset over the Bucks, and what do you predict for them in round 2?
I don't think we should see it as much of a surprise as.
Wait,
Oh, wait.
that's a different kind of phone call. Oh. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Bob, but we gotta go over some things here.
Let's
It's
dish.
You Called It. One of my favorite segments. That was an abrupt ending to that song. The Bucks won. The Bucks upset an Eastern Conference contender. Back on episode 95, your boy said this. Kyle Lowry is past his prime. We can all agree on that.
Yes,
They don't have the depth that they did in the bubble. We can all agree on that.
of course.
But this team has a good defense. They are second in the league in points allowed per game, and they have an elite clutch time performer in playoff Jimmy Butler. This Heat team is not going to win the title.
No.
They're probably not going to make the conference finals.
No.
But I'll tell you what this team is going to do. I don't know who, and I don't know how, so this prediction is a little loose. But this team is going to upset an Eastern Conference contender in the playoffs. I realize that my prediction is a little bit of a hot take, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Every single time that the Heat are in a position where it's like, oh, they're underperforming, here we go, let's roll around playoff time, and we underestimate them, they give someone their best shot, and the other team does not have one in return consistently, time and time again. Huh. Bob, was that you talking? No, Justin, that was you talking, right? Now, call that one. Thank you for the flowers on that one. Justin, what was your take on this series?
If they move to the 5th seed, they're going to get swept by the Cavs. If they move to the 6th seed, they're going to get swept by the Sixers. And if they are the 7th seed, they're going to get swept by the Celtics. And if they're the 8, well, they're going to lose in 4 to the Bucks. So no matter what happens, only the top 4 seeds in the East can do anything, in my opinion. So I have no faith in the Heat to realistically accomplish anything in the playoffs.
That's a freezing cold take.
How do you feel about that one? Now that the things have been
I mean, I feel fine.
revealed.
When your best player only plays 2.25 games, you're bound to lose some games. So, obviously, I was wrong. But I mean, going into the series, the majority of the world was wrong. So,
Yeah. I mean,
that's what it is. A very
This is true.
surprising Eastern Conference. Obviously, I've not seen anybody say, "Oh yeah, Knicks, Heat, second round matchup." So.
Yeah, I don't think anybody predicted this outright. Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, yeah, it happens.
It does. Let's just go over some of our other picks for the first round of the playoffs. Here's what we thought about the Lakers.
Lakers in 6. You're going up against the GOAT.
Justin?
I have got the Grizzlies in 7.
I see the Lakers beating the Grizzlies 7.
I do as well, and I am also going to go 7. Like I said, I'm picking the Lakers to go to the finals. Yeah. Good job, Bob. You got it right on. I did adjust my pick after, but that was already a few games in, so I'll take the L on that one. But yeah, Lakers advance, and Bob, you got it dead on. Good job.
Thanks, sir.
What about the Warriors?
Warriors in 6. Respect.
6. Wow.
Going to be interesting to see if Wiggins comes back. Obviously, if that happens, it's going to be Warriors in 4 or 5.
Kings in 5.
5.
Kings in 5. They're going to steal a game over in Golden State because who cares? And they're going to win all their home games. Boom, 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 boom. Kings in 5.
I got Warriors in 7. I think it's going to be a really good series.
Warriors in 7 for me.
Well
Trey
done.
and I get that one right.
Yeah.
Justin a little bit off there. And Bob, you were close
Almost.
until you said the Wiggins thing, because Wiggins did play heavy minutes in all the games, and it was a 7-game series still. So we were close on that one. What about the Knicks?
Cavs in 5.
Knicks aren't winning a game. Cavs in 4.
I see the Cavs sweeping.
I'm gonna go Cavs in 5 as well. We all got that one dead wrong. But like you said, I don't think anybody saw this coming.
No.
So, what about Philly? Sixers Nets. Who you got? How many games?
I'm going to go with Sixers.
How many games? This should be a quick one.
4.
Justin.
Boom.
Sixers in 6.
Wow, that's surprising. Sixers in 6.
I have Sixers sweeping.
Yeah.
Sweeping them.
Yeah, I got
Easy.
Sixers in 4 as well. Ain't nobody doing nothing with Joel Embiid over there. I was right, but that's not what happened at all. He had a kind of bad series. And I don't have the 1-8 matchups of those because we were pretty much all wrong on the play-in tournament. Is when we kind of gave our full playoff outlook.
I definitely had Toronto.
Yeah, I picked the Bulls to make the 8 seed. I picked the Heat to go against the Celtics and the Bulls to go against the Bucks, and obviously neither of those things.
I picked those
happened,
two
so.
games, right?
Yeah, you were right about the right about the play-in completely.
Yeah.
You got all the play-in right. And I didn't have the Nuggets in here, but
Just
I had
flubbed
Nuggets in
everything.
5. But I had Nuggets in 5 over the Pelicans. So I didn't include those just because whatever. So, anyways, that was you called it. Because Bob, you got some good one. You got some dead on. I got some dead on. Justin,
I got the play-in right.
you sure did.
Just keep going, Justin.
right.
You're doing great, buddy.
So Bob, back to
Yeah.
what we were talking about, the Heat and the Bucks. How shocked were you by the Heat's upset over the Bucks? And
man.
what did you predict for them in round 2?
I think I feel a little vindicated, actually. Like, I feel really good about this. I've always been on the Chris Middleton fraud train. I know he had a good game mixed in there, and I know Giannis didn't play for about a game and 3/4 is what you said. He played for about 2.25. So
You played 2.25 games.
yeah. So obviously without Giannis, that's going to be difficult. The Heat just wanted it so much more. I loved watching Gabe Vincent essentially turn into Steph Curry
Well,
out of nowhere. Which
weird,
was
weird
insane.
timing to say that, but yeah, I hear you.
Absolutely, absolutely going off. I want to say I'm like super flabbergasted, but this is a Heat team, and it's the playoffs, and it's Jimmy Butler, and it's Eric Spoelstra, and I think Bud has a lot to answer for not adjusting accordingly defensively against Jimmy Butler. Like,
Something that I didn't cut out, Bob, because it was kind of more of a monologue and it was hard to chop a single piece, is that back on episode 91, you actually said, look out for the Heat. They could be something. Kind of to condense it, you kind of said, look out for the Heat. I know they're not performing well right now, but they could make some noise in the playoffs. So credit to you on that as well.
Yeah, and I remember also saying if they saw the Celtics specifically didn't want to see the Heat.
Yeah.
Like they would have to claw their way out of it, and like the same thing for the Bucks. They would have to claw their way out of it, but they got smoked. So
Yeah. I'd like to think that series would have gone different, but we'll never know.
No.
Justin, what are your takeaways from the Heat Bucks, and then what do you predict? Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. Official pick on Heat Knicks?
It's early. Julius Randle's coming back.
Maybe. They're both listed at questionable. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are now listed both as questionable for game 2.
In my heart of hearts and my gut, I want to be shouting, "Go New York, go New York, go!" But
It's going to be more like Dale.
don't bet against playoff Jimmy. So I'm going to say Heat in 7.
Okay. Justin, thoughts
Yeah.
on the Bucks series?
Well, my thoughts are if Giannis doesn't get hurt, the series is way different. Congratulations to the Heat. Obviously, they did prove me wrong in that aspect. It's not, obviously, I don't think it's lost on anybody that when your best player gets hurt, things go differently, which is why I need to know what Jimmy Butler's injury is to kind of make a prediction for the Heat moving forward. Because we all agree if Jimmy Butler's hurt, the Heat are done.
Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah,
a lot of second round
Now-
injury question marks right
and
now.
I think that's also, to be fair to the Heat, though, they also are missing Tyler Hero. So if Tyler Hero's there and Jimmy Butler's out, they have a little bit better of a shot. Jimmy Butler plays. I got the Heat probably in 6. Jimmy Butler's not playing. I don't really. But also Brunson and Randle are hurt. So who really knows? If all those players are hurt, I go Heat in 7.
Yeah,
So I think Heat in 7 is probably the right pick.
man.
But I'll be honest, if Jimmy Butler's fine, Heat probably win in 5.
I would be stunned if he doesn't play. So
Well, after
all right.
he got hurt, he didn't. Not only did he not run up and down the court, he didn't even jump again.
Yeah,
Period. So I don't. That to me goes. That might not be good. But also maybe he's just like, we won.
I feel you. Yeah, I agree. And obviously, kind of depending on how bad the ankle is, you don't want him to potentially get injured for the rest of a potential playoff run. But also, without him, what kind of run is it going to be? So, all right. I got a lot to say about this, and I'm going to really go in on this Bucks Heat series. Look, yes, I did predict that the Heat would upset somebody, but I was shocked. Even when they were down 3-1, I said, until I see them dead and buried, I'm not going to count the Bucks out. I knew the Heat would win a few games, but I didn't expect this. And as much as I loved Giannis's post-game quote, there is no failure in sports, only steps to success, he's wrong. This was a failure, and we need to call it what it is. The Bucks choked away a 14-point fourth quarter lead in Game 4 and a 15-point fourth quarter lead in Game 5. Then they had the chance to win in overtime, still couldn't do it. They had a timeout with 10 seconds left, down 2, with their season on the line, and they didn't use it. Look, I get it if you don't want to get the defense an opportunity to reset, especially the Heat defense, who can be absolutely dominant at times. But once they didn't get the look they wanted from Giannis or Middleton, they could have called it then with 2.5 seconds left and drawn up a play instead of letting Grayson Allen dribble out your season, not even get a shot off. Justin and I, we talked about this a little bit before we started recording. Mike Budenholzer, well wishes to him. He had a passing in the family, and that's unfortunate. But he must be fired for this. Unfortunately, that it sucks to say, but that is not an excuse.
Damn.
He got completely outclassed by Eric Spoelstra in this series in every facet of the game. He refused to make necessary defensive adjustments time and time again. The Heat's second leading scorer in the series was Bam with 17 per game. He had his hands full trying to guard the bigs of the Bucks, so he really didn't have it on the offensive side of the ball. That's one of the reasons that I think that he's going to be somewhat limited, because if Randle's there, he's going to have to be on Randle or Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle are going to be giving him fits on the other side of the ball. So in Game 4, Jimmy scored 17 points in the last 4 minutes and 51 seconds of game time, and they didn't double him one single time.
Silly.
And Justin, respect, I don't want to hear the Giannis injury excuses. The Bucks had 3 of the top 5 Defensive Player of the Year finalists. Giannis averaged 23, 11, and 5 in that series, and the games he played, they lost. The only game he wasn't there for is the one that they won. He went 10 of 23 from the line in Game 5. This is an inexcusable loss from who we all consider the best player on the planet. I was recently making a point about how the parity in the NBA this season was at an all-time high because there wasn't a prohibitive favorite to win the title, and I was told that the Bucks were far and away the best team in the league and by far the favorite in the NBA. Well, Jimmy Butler stole their lunch money and sent them packing in 5 games. Every other time an NBA seed has an 8 seed has defeated a 1 seed in the first round, it has been at least 6 games. This was domination in like a lot of different facets of the game. Most notably coaching. They sent them packing in 5 games. And that is something that cannot be excused. As much as I respect this Heat team and Jimmy Butler, you heard my little monologue earlier, as much as I respect them and give them credit for what they did, this was, in my opinion, more of a choke job by the Bucks than it was a win from the Heat. They 14 points in the fourth quarter of Game 4, 15 points in the fourth quarter of Game 5. You can't let those things slip. Budenholzer must go. There are worse coaches who have won a championship before and got fired for less.
Yeah,
I can't understand how he stays on the payroll in Milwaukee. It would blow my mind if they keep him, but they might. Kyle always says it goes back to the KU Jayhawks. There was a time when Bill Self was struggling in the tournament a couple years in a row, and I said, "Man, are they going to get rid of him?" And he just said, "Well, who are you going to get instead? Who's better?" That's not the case here. There are guys that are better. There are assistant coaches that are better that have been waiting on their shot for a while. I'd take Becky Hammond before I take him. And Becky Hammond just got an interview with the Raptors, and I'd take Becky Hammond before I take Mike Budenholzer. And I know that probably won't happen, but it should. She's a way better coach than him.
Frank Vogel.
Vogel, championship winning coach. He had LeBron on his team. I don't know that that's a perfect example, but there are guys that are better than him that have proven that they can do the job. So in terms of this next round, I'm picking the Heat to beat the Knicks in 6. It's kind of like you said, there's so many question marks injury-wise. Jalen Brunson will have to play better than he did yesterday, and they need Julius Randle. But the Heat won Game 1, and Jimmy only scored 25 points. And, I mean, only 25, but given what we've seen this run, that's not much. So,
and I'm saying Steve Nash, new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ooh, that would be
go
bad.
ahead.
He was horrible with Brooklyn. He was terrible with Brooklyn.
You know who should have waited to get their job?
Hmm.
And you can't predict coaching failures,
Ime?
but Ime should have waited.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah,
Ime would have been an upgrade.
Ime would have been an upgrade. That's for sure. Okay, well, 20 minutes in. Are you ready for question 2?
Woo!
Question 2. The Golden State Warriors defeated the Sacramento Kings 120-100 yesterday behind Steph Curry's record-breaking 50 points in Game 7. Curry went 21 of 39 from the field, including 7 three-pointers, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Warriors win Game 7 on the road despite winning just 11 games on the road during the regular season. Gentlemen, swish or miss?
2 numbers stick out to me. It's the 11 road wins. Was it 12 road wins?
I would err on the other side.
Okay. And then the other one was 39 attempts. I thought it was 38 attempts.
See, my qualm with it was I don't think the Kings got to 100 points.
They did. Yes, it was 20 exactly. So
I know
if
it was a
120
20-point
to
win, but I
100.
thought it was...
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
correct.
Well, I mean, given that, I mean, maybe the attempts. I know it was his career high in attempts.
Yeah. I think it was 38.
Okay. Miss in 38 attempts?
Let's do it.
Because I don't think it's the other one. So, yeah.
Miss,
Miss with 38 attempts?
38
Yeah.
attempts.
Gentlemen, well done.
Oh,
That is correct. Spot on.
Sheesh.
Dead on it. Yes. All right, Bob. So we'll kind of do this series now. What are your thoughts on the Lakers' blowout win over the Grizzlies in Game 6, the Warriors' dominance in Game 7, and your official prediction for Round 2?
Okay, Lakers Grizzlies called it in 6. Obviously, it's seemed like, hey, here's the first opportunity that the Grizzlies and the Kings can sort of usher in a new era of basketball and the new generation's here and stuff. Well, that didn't happen. It just didn't. So the Lakers and the Warriors are still here, and they're the ones that advanced. I think it's still a lot of LeBron doing LeBron things and Anthony Davis being great. Anyway, I wasn't too surprised, of course, with the injuries to the front court of the Grizzlies. It was difficult for them to keep up with Anthony Davis, which begs the question, can Kevon Looney and Draymond Green keep up with them? That'll be interesting. They took care of Sabonis. In fact, Sabonis looks like a freaking ER victim. He just looks so beat up after the
ER
series.
victim.
Yeah.
I think they said YAR victim. I was confused. I was like,
He
what's a
just
YAR?
absolutely
Good point on YAR.
Good point about Yar. Absolutely destroyed. And if it went in one more game, he'd be walking out of there in crutches, I'm sure.
Question
but
as a Warriors fan, do you agree with Draymond that did you lose some respect for Sabonis
After not shaking
dapping
hands?
up with the guys after losing?
I don't really care. Obviously, there's some old guard boomer mentality there that Draymond, is kind of pulling through.
I would say it's the other way around. If you lose, you don't go shake the other person's hand.
Well, it just seems like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just seems like it's not that big of a deal.
All right, what's
And
your
it's always
pick?
my thing. Anyway, Warriors, of course, won against the Kings, of course. But Warriors, Lakers, I'm saying Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6.
Yep.
Heard. Justin, thoughts on Lakers Grizz? Thoughts on Warriors Kings? And what's happening next round?
Yeah, obviously I was wrong for the Lakers, Grizzlies, and the Kings, Warriors. I think the one thing I just didn't see coming, I don't think anybody saw coming, was Steph Curry's probably greatest game ever. To try and beat a Kings team in 7 games, like, to me that doesn't scream, of course, Warriors, but they got the job done, so that's good. The Lakers Grizzlies was a weird series. I can't even injuries, because I still called that series with their front court out. Obviously the jaw injury, but whatever.
Yeah,
you came back and you were fine.
The only game he didn't play was the only one. There was one that he won.
Yeah. But with Warriors Lakers, I've gone back and forth on this, and there's no winning here for me. As a Warriors hater and as the out on the Lakers situation. But I gotta think Warriors in 7 makes the most sense, strictly from the home court advantage situation.
Yeah, I feel that.
But if you tell me Lakers win in 7, I go, okay.
Yeah, I feel that. I get it. So real quick, I want to quote Ramona Shelburne, something that I read to you earlier, Justin. She had an incredible piece on ESPN.com. Ramona Shelburne, one of the best in the game. She said, "At some point, it will be someone else's time. A young team will break through. One of the defensive stoppers assigned to bottle up Steph Curry will actually do it. An agitator will do more than poke the bear that is LeBron James. But not today. It's still their time." And that's awesome. First of all, quote, awesome. Second, I'm a big fan that it's still them. Because this might be one of the last times we see it. They're obviously LeBron is significantly older than Steph, but also I've mentioned this last week and the week before. This LeBron looks different. He's finally starting to show his age. I still think he's kind of struggling with that injury that was kind of hampering him for a month and a half. So before I move off of Lakers Grizzlies, here are my thoughts on the Lakers blowout win over the Grizzlies.
I don't care. He's old. I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
Well, he poked the bear, I poked bears. Well, I want to be the guy gave you 20 and 20, that was a 40. And then they beat you by 40. They beat you so bad, LeBron and AD said, "Hey, D-Head, we taking the rest of the night off." They clocked out early.
I poke bears.
Dylan Brooks, you fucking suck.
Yes!
Couldn't defend a tree. 16% shooting from the field, looking ass. Broke ass. What's your next team gonna be? Shenzhen, China?
Yep.
Why you looking like a sad orphan? No
Yep.
offense, orphans. Come for the king, you best not miss. You couldn't even hit the ocean. Standing on the beach, you broke bitch. Don't think John Morant's gonna bail you out. He's too busy bailing himself out.
That was a little fun. I woke up with some inspiration. Pardon my French. F you, Dylan Brooks. Look, man.
Well done.
As for the Warriors, we talked about this mid-March on episode 95. Oh, sorry. Just real quick note. I didn't have written down, but I wanted to make this. Anthony Davis is playing his best defensive basketball of his career, and he is a brilliant defender, and that does play into my prediction. But as for the Warriors, we talked about this mid-March on episode 95. They are terrible on the road. Can Steph win you a series on his own? The answer is yes. He did it yesterday. Can he do it against his Lakers team playing at the level that they are playing right now? I don't believe so. It's possible, and I don't want to say anything too egregious here that'll come back to bite me. We'll do another you called it at the end of the next round, and I'm looking like a fool.
Can't wait.
So I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not going to say Lakers in 5 or anything like that. the last time we saw Lakers Warriors was early March, and it was without LeBron James, and they beat the Warriors by like 20 plus because of Anthony Davis, and especially because of him on the defensive side. So my official pick for this series is Lakers in 7. I can see it being fewer games in the Lakers' favor. I think the Warriors are going to have a hard time. Lakers fans are juiced right now. Obviously, the Kings fans were as well. And the big variable is health for both teams, I feel. Or, well, more so a performance for the Warriors. Is Jordan Poole going to be who he has been? Because, woof.
Can I give you some quick stats here?
Give me a stat.
Steph Curry is 3-1 in series against LeBron James.
Yep.
In games, Steph Curry is 15-7, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
If Steph is healthy, I don't think there's a lot the Lakers can do in regard to that. And the answer for Anthony Davis,
Kevon Looney?
it's Kevon Looney.
Okay.
Yeah, and not for a moment am I disrespecting Kevon Looney at all.
Yeah.
But you were right, Justin. He proved himself to be as inconsistent as we thought he might be in that series against the Grizzlies. But if he is as consistent as he is on the defensive side all series, he had the most blocks in a round 1 series, or I think in a total series for a Lakers player since Shaq in 2000.
Yeah.
And they've had good big men. So I feel like, is he going to do it on his own? Is Steph going to do it on his own? Again, against this team, against the best defense in the league now. They are officially number 1 ranked defense in the league. I think it's going to be a harder challenge than the Kings, who really didn't have anybody. I mean, and you know, the other thing is, would you say nobody has anything for Anthony Davis, LeBron James? Nobody has anything for Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
Is Steph's quote that he said, is anybody going to, is there anybody that can guard you? And Steph says, hopefully we never find out. And I agree.
Yeah.
Probably not. There's nobody that can check him, but it's just more so a question of, what do the role players do in this series? Do Rui and Austin do what they did in round 1? Is Jordan Poole as bad as he was in round 1? Is Wiggins making the winning plays that he was in round 1? There's so much to go into this series that it comes down to, we'll see what the other guys do.
15 players had scored for the Warriors halfway through the second quarter in Game 7.
15 players?
15 different players had scored.
I don't even think they have 15 guys on their roster.
That's it was some absurd. That was the stat that it showed, and I was like, wow, 15 players already.
Bob, I'd like to make you a wager
Mm-hmm.
on the series.
Okay.
Given that you're big Warriors fan and I have picked the Lakers to make the finals,
What?
I would like to make you a 1,000 point wager on the winner of the series. It'll be settled before the end of the month, so we'll know before the end of the month. Yay or nay?
Yeah. Good game.
1,500.
Okay,
Yay.
sure.
All right.
You shake my hand.
Yeah, we'll shake it. Okay, before we move on, I honestly don't, because of injuries and because of what I think is going to be something of one series, I don't want to go too deep on these. Picks on Denver, Phoenix, picks on Boston, Philly. Bob, go first.
Nuggets in 5.
Okay. Wow.
And then Celtics in 7.
I think I concur. Obviously, barring what goes on with Joel Embiid, I think if Joel Embiid's done, it's Celtics in 5.
Yeah.
If Joel Embiid comes back,
Also, James Harden's struggling with something too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, Celtics in 5, 6,
Yeah.
potentially. But if not, I could see Philly pulling out 7 games.
Yeah. So I'm taking Denver in 6. Look, game 1, they got 59 points from Durant and Booker in game 1, and they still got blown out.
They're going to live and die by this mid-range, too, and they're not going to
Look,
win,
the Suns are going to have some fire for them, but the Nuggets just look ready for this
Chris
run, and the
Paul,
chemistry just
oof.
isn't quite there yet with the Suns.
No.
The
Bench him.
Suns ran their elbow package 7 times in game 1, which is designed to get either Booker or KD open in space, and the Nuggets were just ready for it every time. We're going to see some high-level chess matches between Mike Malone and Monty Williams, and I
Ooh.
cannot wait for that.
We've already seen a glimpse, and it is beautiful.
Yeah. The switching that the
The
Nuggets
pistol
were doing
and the
right, yeah.
elbow.
Mhm.
Yeah, incredible.
In terms of Boston Philly, I picked Boston before the preseason to make the finals. In the preseason to make the finals. I'm gonna stick with that. If Embiid is out, I'll take Boston in 5. If he plays, I'll take Boston in 7. I still picked Boston either way. I just think they're ready for this moment. I think they're ready to potentially go win a championship. So, Give me Nuggets in 6. Give me Boston in 5 or 7.
Does the Hawks thing not worry you?
No.
Okay.
I think that's a matter of getting up for the players or getting up for your opponent, and also the Sixers don't have the perimeter play that the Hawks did, and that's that's one of the new strengths of the Celtics team is that they've improved their perimeter defense. But anyways,
And throw some respect on Quinn Snyder's name.
yeah, Quinn Snyder and Trae Young had a crazy game. I mean, what was it, 38-footer
Boston
with
PD.
2 seconds
Boston
to play.
PD. Trae Young sucks.
All right, we're rocking and rolling. Let's get on to a game, and it's one that I did before, but it's gonna be different this time. It's time for the YB Mystery Game. Welcome to the YB Mystery Game. Neither of you know how this game is played, correct?
Correct.
Perfect.
Correct.
Begin.
Boston Celtics.
Rules. Oh, the game is you can't answer questions.
I don't know. Okay.
No. The rule is you can't speak. Oh,
Rock, paper, scissors. It's on shoot.
no, I hate that rule.
All
All
right.
right, on shoot.
Nice. I don't know what to do here, and so we're just here. This is what it is. On to the next segment.
You give up that easy? You haven't even said anything.
I said you don't say things back when I said something. Are we?
That's the rule.
Is it the rule game? We don't know the rules.
No, you don't know the rules.
That's the point. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me something.
Give me something.
Yeah, something. Say something.
Something.
Mm.
Is the rule say something?
No.
Ugh,
It's not
damn.
the-
That
You
was the
should. I
best
would
could
encourage
do.
it.
It's not the rule though. Okay. LeBron James,
Warmer.
Anthony Davis,
Colder.
Lakers.
Colder.
LeBron James.
Dwayne Wade, the King.
Warmer.
Shaq.
Warm.
Not warmer,
Warm.
just warm.
Equally warm.
Miami
Equally warm.
Heat.
Udonis Haslam.
There you go.
Oh my God! No way. Got it.
100 points to Justin.
Nice.
Well done. Well done.
I don't like it.
Round 2. Begin.
Okay. Canada.
Cold.
Agreed. Got you.
Bar.
Gotcha, bitch.
Bar.
Gotcha.
A bar.
All right.
Oh man, Joel Embiid.
Warmer than Canada.
Okay. Ooh.
Centers.
Cold.
Klay Thompson.
Warm.
Washington.
Cold.
Phoenix.
Cold. Freezing cold.
Philadelphia.
Warmer.
Emmanuel Quickly.
Warmish. Colder than where you were at.
Atlantic Division.
Colder.
He also doesn't know the divisions
know
like
the
that.
I know. I love it, which tells me it's probably a team probably outside of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, sure. But Sixers was warmer.
Celtics.
Colder.
Okay, let's go with Tyrese Maxey.
James Harden.
Colder.
Paolo Banchero.
Colder.
Older.
Philadelphia.
Well, Paolo.
Pennsylvania.
Warmer-ish.
Okay, let's go with
Connecticut.
No.
Vermont?
Cold.
Cade
freezing.
Cunningham.
Well done.
Excuse me, sir.
You're
Well
excused.
done.
What?
I was just, by the way, for the first round, I was just waiting on you to say any player's name, and then we were going to start the hot cold thing. I thought it'd be a quick thing that you guys.
Oh, I see. what you're
I
saying.
assumed, given like you said last time we played my YB Mystery Game, I'm a smart cookie. I didn't think you'd give up so easily.
I didn't. I won.
This time around, I mean. Okay, last one. Go ahead.
Jaden Ivey.
Cold.
Ish Smith.
Warm.
Josh Smith.
Colder.
Oh, damn
Nikola Jokic.
Colder.
it. Ish Smith was
Bradley Beal.
warm.
Hot.
Porzingis.
Freezing cold.
Wizards.
No, very hot. Super hot.
Oh, Kyle Kuzma.
Oh,
that's
my
crazy.
God.
This is 300 points to Justin to start the month.
Jesus
Golly, he's up to 600
Christ.
points already. Good job, guys. That was YB Mystery Game.
Yep, like 700 points. But yeah,
700. Proud of you. Good job.
also undefeated
Wait,
in YB
700?
Mystery Game.
Well
How do you have
done.
700 already? You
I thought the first two were worth 200 in the other game
you got 100 on the first one,
and 200 on
200
the
on the second one.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. There's only 6. Yeah, we're good.
Good job. Okay, well, it's playoffs time, so let's have a little make your case.
All right. Right.
A bar.
Right.
All right. We've seen
Right.
several incredible
Right.
individual playoff performances so far this postseason, from the likes of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, among others. And it's leaving me to ask the question, guys, who holds the title for greatest playoff run ever? Bob, make your case.
Well, the greatest playoff run of all time belongs to the one, the only Kawhi Leonard,
19?
the 2018-2019 Raptors. Exactly.
That was in there. I had that in there.
The one and done dynasty, as it's known as. Also the
Never
dynasty.
heard that before. I like that.
You like that?
Yes.
I made that up.
Okay,
good. Also known as the Dynasty Killer Team. Anyway, Kawhi in the regular season averaged 34 minutes. Wow. Kawhi, 34 minutes? Crazy. 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. So let's give you the breakdown. In the first round, they beat the Magic in 5. They go 0-1 to start off, which wild, but then they went 4 straight. That Magic team had Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier, Vucevic, and DJ Augustine, LOL. I literally wrote that down. DJ Augustine, LOL. Second round, then they had a nail-biting Game 7 Philly series, of course.
Yeah.
That Game 7 with the shot.
The Kawhi lights out.
The greatest what-if shot. That was a 45-point Game 1 and a 41-point Game 7. Wicked. Absolutely nutty. And then in the conference finals, of course, they beat the Bucks because the Bucks are frauds. They beat them in 6. They were down 0-2 to start, and they closed out 4 straight.
And what was the thing that changed in that series? Kawhi started checking Giannis.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo, bango, bongo. And he had 4 30-point-plus games. Wicked.
I hear your Kawhi.
And then finally, in the finals, my team, of course, the Golden State Warriors, after only losing, 4 games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They
Coming
lo-
off a sweep against the Blazers. Yep.
Exactly. The sweep against the Blazers, wild. Well, Kawhi averaged near 40 minutes a game with just about 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists in the series.
Wow.
Wicked. Yeah, he did that in 6 games, and Curry even had 47 in games 3 and still lost. So
Yeah.
Game 6 Clay wasn't enough. Respect to Kawhi Leonard.
Also tore his ACL in the end of that. Towards the end of the game. He was having a Game 6
Yes, he
game.
was.
He was having a Game 6 Clay Game 6, but tore his
Yep,
ACL.
so the Toronto one and done dynasty is
Justin,
mine.
what you got?
Well, I feel kind of bad. I wrote a whole intro and thut I was going to do one, and then didn't.
You
get
can
it.
read it if you want.
It's okay.
No, do it.
I wrote like a make your case intro. It was kind of fun, but I would be remiss. I see your Kawhi. Not to put words in your mouth in the future. I'm assuming you're going to take a LeBron series and then a LeBron playoff run, and that's okay.
I'm
But
not.
I raise both of you. My man, Timothy Duncan.
2004?
2003. My man
Close.
defeated Stoudemire's Suns. He defeated Shaq and Kobe's Lakers. He defeated Dirk's Mavericks, and he defeated the Jason Kidd Nets. Very decent team. He did all that while averaging 25, 15, 5, and 3 blocks. He led his team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks for that entire playoff run. No one else on the team averaged 15 points a game. No one else on the team even averaged 7 rebounds a game in that playoff run. Now, in the finals, he would go on to average 24, 17, 5, and 5 blocks.
Just to be clear, we're talking about 0203 or 0304.
0203.
Heard?
Yep. That's all I mean, averaged 5 blocks in the finals on 24, 17, and 5. Like I said, led his team in all of those categories. But, you know, it's time to talk about it eventually. Is he the greatest two-way player ever? I don't know. I don't know. In the discussion. But that's...
He's in the discussion because he's got an argument for the best defender of all time.
Mm-hmm. And he scored. Like, it's not as flashy, and he's not going to put up the 30. I get that, but you're going to be very efficient, and you give such great defense that your 24 to 27 a game is also phenomenal.
Yeah. Who else? Who did he go against? Stoudemire and the Suns.
He
Dirk
went
and the Mavs.
Suns, the Mavericks, the Kobe Shaq Lakers, and then the New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd, RJ. Richard Jefferson. I had to look up the whole rest of the roster.
That was the year
Dikembe Mutombo was on that team.
That was the year that they beat the Lakers.
That the Spurs beat the Lakers? Yeah.
It was a good one. You got to respect Timmy Duncan, my man. And if you like my man, his man,
hey,
go buy a shirt. YeahBasketball.com.
Do it.
Okay, listen. Come on. What are we doing here? I've said this before. I'll say it again. 2018, LeBron James is the best basketball player to ever walk the face of the earth. He was at the peak of his powers, still in his physical prime, but aged and wise and aware. He averaged 34, 9, and 9. He led his team in every major statistical category, much like your Timothy Duncan, except including steals, blocks, I believe field goal percentage and three-point percentage, something that has never been done before or since. 2 walk-off buzzer beaters. LeBronto was born. They swept the 1-seed Raptors. Game 2 was the one where he was just trying anything, fadeaways and all that. That was the one where Valanciunas is in the bench like, oh my God, like melting. And Mark Jackson is like, we are stunned. We are speechless, Hubie Brown. That one. They won back-to-back games against the Celtics. The Cavs were the underdogs in every series in that playoff run, and they still went to the finals. And maybe if he just had a little more help, or if George hit a free throw, or if J.R. Smith knew the score, maybe he wouldn't have been swept. Still one of the best final performances we've ever seen, if not the best. 51 points in Game 1. The second leading scorer in the playoffs was Kevin Love, who averaged 15 points per game. After that, it's George Hill with 9 points per game. He did everything for the Cavs. In the finals, he led both teams in every stat. 34, 9, and 9 through, let's see, 7, 4, 7, 4. So you do the math. What is that? 29 games? Nope. 22 games. Math be mathin' sometimes. That's pretty wild. I feel like you have a rebuttal. Go ahead. I'll hear it.
Yeah, I don't think I think the best playoff run probably comes from somebody who wins, but I hear that.
See, and that kind of goes into the topic that's been discussed recently is like, is making a finals run less impressive than losing in the, like, you know, I didn't mention this earlier against the Bucks and the Giannis thing, but like, if that happened to LeBron, it's the biggest story in sports for weeks at a time.
If LeBron lost in
the first round as a 1 seed, something he's never done ever, right?
Yeah.
He's lost in the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And he's only lost 1 series ever in the first round, 2021.
Yes.
So
that's all great. That's an all-timer. I'm surprised none of us talked about Dirk. Obviously, the 2011 run was
amazing.
Was really amazing.
That was a good run as well.
It's those like,
and that wasn't a shot at LeBron, but that was just.
I also feel like
those standout years, like 2011 and then like 2019.
Yeah, I feel though that like
the one-offs.
Dirk was at his peak in that playoff run, but also Dirk was always somewhat limited on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's why I think there's a better LeBron case. Like I think the 2016 playoff run,
because he had too much help then.
You win though,
right? But he won because he had an actual team around him. And if he would have had an actual team around him in all these other series, I feel like he would have won more championships than just the 4 that he has as of this moment.
I think we all, yeah. Like if you put different teams around there, yeah. That's all. My only rebuttal to you is, I think if you're gonna pick somebody that has the best playoff run that ends in a success and not a failure, like we just talked about with Giannis, they lost. It's a failure. You don't win the title. It's a failure.
I don't think though that that those two things are comparable because Bucks 1 seed losing to the 8 seed is a failure, especially when you have 14-point fourth quarter lead, 15-point fourth quarter lead, and then you're the 5 seed the 4 seed in the East. You had a pretty much entirely new roster at the trade deadline.
He always has that.
And then they, like I said, they were underdogs forever. So no, like, Vegas odds, professionals picks. I thought that they were going to lose to the Raptors.
Yeah.
I picked the Raptors in that series before it started. Everybody thought that they were going to get bounced in round 1, round 2, then round 3, of course. So it makes sense that they go up against one of the greatest teams ever and get swept, of course.
General question
General answer
is
General
how
answer.
many times? Thank you. Has he been the 1 seed?
Oh man, I don't know off the top of my head. I think once in Miami, twice in Cleveland, couple 65 win games. But even if he was a 2 seed,
No, I
if he lost in the first round.
Oh, I just think if you don't win the title, your season was a failure.
I don't think it's that black and white though. When you're overachieving, like that team was overachieving solely because of him.
Yeah, but like the King season is a failure. They didn't win. But I think
would disagree because you said that they wouldn't even make the play-in.
Yeah, but
before the season started.
But their expectations were not the same as my expectations for them.
You also said like last episode when you were talking about how there's the Grizzlies, like their steps, and you're the young upstart team, and it's not so shocking that the Kings don't make it because they're the young upstart team, and
it's not shocking when certain people it's not shocking when RJ Barrett fails at basketball.
Yeah,
it's not. That's what I'm saying. But he still failed. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then think about the Atlanta Hawks making the Eastern Conference Finals and then not ever reaching that again.
Getting bounced by
LeBron. So it's every season after that conference final a failure. So we've
any
always
season you don't
constant
win is a
down.
failure, unless the only caveat to me, and that is if you're trying to get the number 1 draft pick. So if your goal is to get the draft pick and you've tanked all season, I go okay.
No,
but if you don't win it, you failed. What's the goal?
I disagree. The Bucks season was a failure. The King season was a success.
Agreed.
They were the 3 seed. They highly overachieved. Mike Brown's first year there, he wins unanimous Coach of the Year. Fox gets a newly introduced award. But then they take the defending champions to 7 games and have them against the ropes for the first time in 5 years. I think that's a success from the Kings standpoint because they've been so horrible for so long. The Bucks won a title 2 years ago. They were 60 win or nearly a 60 win team. 1 seed, best player in the world,
perennial favorites,
defensive player of the year runner up, defensive player of the year finalist, defensive player of the year finalist. And 2 All-Stars, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, losing in round 1 in 5 games, that's a failure. What the Kings did is not a failure.
You don't win the title, you failed.
Right, but the way you don't do it is what matters. It's the delineation between the two.
There's different failures, but they're all failures.
I don't think it's that black and white.
Okay.
I don't think it's that black and white. Like I said, in the Bucks case, yes. In the Kings case, no. I don't think you can call the Kings season or the Thunder season a failure. Like the Thunder made the playoffs the play-in with a young team that we were all expected them to go for the lottery. Then they go for the play-in because SGA is incredible. Josh Giddey has a coming out party. Like I don't think you can call either of those seasons a failure. But obviously the Thunder were never going to win the title. That's not a failure. There is a gray area in the middle.
Do you think SGA came into the season going, there's no way I'm ever winning the title?
Ever winning? No. This season, yes.
Okay. I mean, everybody does the interviews when the season starts, and they're like, "Yeah, we're coming to win."
So Grizzlies.
Yeah, but
failure
what
of
would
the
you
season?
what would you rather say? The Grizzlies, I would say,
failure.
Yes.
See, this is interesting
More
because
failure-ish.
they're like the second or third youngest team.
Yeah, but this is their 3rd playoff run. They were the 2 seed
True.
they were the 2 seed in the West. Before all the Jaw stuff, they were considered some of the favorites to win the title.
They were supposed to have MVP. They were supposed to maybe win the
I
title.
picked a Ja, went to MVP in the before the season started.
So I would
there's
call that
a gray
failure.
area. Yeah, the Grizzlies, yes, I think so. The Grizzlies, I can say this season was a failure.
I'm saying I definitely think there's worse failures and there's not as bad failures. I get that, but to me, the goal is to win. Unless, like I said, you're the Rockets and you're trying to lose, and we know that.
So what about the Thunder?
It's a failure.
This season was a failure because they did not win the NBA title.
They didn't
with a
do either.
24-year-old Josh Giddey and 24-year-old SGA, 21-year-old Josh Giddey, 21, 22. Poku's like 19 and a half or something, and their number 2 overall pick, who didn't play a single game this year. That's a failure. They didn't win the title. That's the standard. There has to be a gray area.
That's why we play the games.
Yeah, but if it's just black and white, then there's if there's nothing in the middle, that's not. I mean that's.
I think this is a part of the larger conversation that is the ring chasing culture, the championship culture, the kind of mentality that's
like
such an easy stereotype.
You're
to
clearly
fall
not going to
into.
bend on this, and I'm not going to agree with
No,
you.
I know.
There is obviously a gray area because the Thunder not winning a title and not
I've
getting the
agreed
number
with
one
that
pick.
a couple times. You just don't like the word failure, and that's fine.
Right, because it's
But,
not
like,
that
you didn't
straightforward.
But again, you can go have a failure, and you're like, oh, I can learn from that failure
So
and go move and progress.
Okay, but what if the Thunder's goal this year was progress, get SGA some playoff experience, and get Josh Giddey to – that was their goal, develop their youth.
But if that was their
'Cause they've
goal,
had their
they
picks.
still failed
How?
because they weren't in the playoffs.
SGA was a most improved player of the
You
year
just said
finalist.
If their goal was to get
Josh
him playoff experience, they didn't get that.
Okay,
so it was a
two
failure.
play-in games, I would say, with one game is not equivalent to a Game 7, but it's damn near close.
Yeah, I just don't think
both of them on the road.
OKC kind of takes the year off, let Chet recoup, get back together. We see SGA
But I
become a
don't-
superstar. You let that develop. You let that development year happen, and the next year they come back, they're going to win 45 games.
I don't know
what
that
I mean?
it's,
Plus.
but I don't even know that it's them taking a year off. The goal
Right,
for a
it's a
team like the
quote-unquote
Thunder is
taking a year
develop
off.
your youth.
Yeah.
That's the goal, and that's not a failure because they did develop their youth. Josh Giddey had what, a 25-point triple-double in one of the play-in games. That's a huge success for the Thunder. That's awesome. Get him playing in a playoff-like environment and rising to the occasion. That's not a failure. That's a success for the Thunder. So I don't think it's that black and white, and that's the reason that I got 2018 LeBron James as the best basketball player ever and the best playoff run ever.
Crazy.
All right, let's get to our
Full
game,
circle.
our
Full
last
circle.
game of the day. It's
Ooh.
Free Agent Frenzy. Yeah, that's one of my favorite that we've ever done. In this game, the two of you will operate as general managers of your very own NBA franchise. Every player in NBA history is a free agent. Each round, there is a rule about the players that you may or may not sign. I will start by signing a player that fits the rule. You will attempt to sign, one NBA player that fits the rule of the round. If the player you choose fits the criteria of the round, I will tell you you may sign that player, giving you information on the rule for the round. You may only guess during your turn. Let me know if you want to guess. The first person to correctly guess the rule of the round gets 100 points. If neither of you can guess the rule, I will receive the points. Sound good?
Boo. Yes.
Boom.
Okay. Round one is, I almost just told you the thing.
I thought you were going to.
Round one, we'll start, and I'm going to start with Shaquille O'Neal. Bob?
I will take Anthony Davis.
You may not
Oh.
take Anthony Davis.
May I draft Derek Fisher?
You may not take Derek Fisher.
May I draft Andrew Wiggins?
You may not draft Andrew Wiggins.
May I draft Chris Paul?
You may not sign Chris Paul.
May I draft Penny Hardaway?
You may not sign Penny Hardaway.
May I draft Steph Curry?
You may take Steph Curry.
May I take Stephon Marbury?
You may not take Stephon Marbury.
May I draft LeBron James?
You may.
Can I guess?
You can.
Is this Finals MVPs?
It sure
Nice.
is. Well done.
God,
Hundo piece to you, boy. All right.
I was going through it.
To you, your boy, being you.
mhm.
Okay, round two. I'm gonna take Kobe Bryant.
May I draft Derek Fisher?
You may take Derek Fisher.
may I take Pau Gasol?
You may take Pau Gasol.
May I draft LeBron James?
You may take LeBron James.
Oh. May I guess?
You can?
Is this Lakers players?
No, you're out of the game. Bob, just you. One pick, one guess.
Wait, so I only have one guess.
Mm-hmm.
Pau, LeBron, Derek Fisher,
Kobe.
Kobe.
Tell you what, since he fired off so early, you can take two players then guess.
Oh, okay. May I take Ron Artest?
You may.
May I
Really
take?
nailing that air claves over there.
He's killing it. May I take Paul Pierce?
You may take Paul Pierce.
Is this players who played in the 2009 finals?
Did LeBron James play in the 2009 finals?
Oh, damn it.
It was players with a championship.
Oh. Well, that was pretty easy.
Very,
Damn it.
very broad. All right.
I wasn't thinking about LeBron.
I think that Justin started round 2, so Bob, you can go first
Yep.
again.
Okay.
I'm going to take Carmelo Anthony.
I'm going to take Jokic.
You may not take Jokic.
May I draft Darko Milicic?
Just a moment. No, you may not take Darko.
Can I take Jalen Brunson?
No, you may not take Jalen Brunson.
May I draft Birdman?
Like, Birdman?
Chris Anderson.
No.
No. May I draft Iman Shumpert?
No.
Wow. May I draft LeBron James?
Yes.
Okay.
May I draft Chris Paul?
Let me double check, please. You may not.
May I draft Kevin Durant?
You may.
So we have who? LeBron, KD.
And Carmelo?
Can I guess?
So you don't want to pick first? It's a free advantage.
Hold on. Yeah, good point. Can I have?
It just kind of, I don't know what he's thinking, so in my head I'm like,
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what it is.
because if we're thinking the same thing, then I go, damn. But also good
Give me a name.
if it's wrong.
I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Players with a scoring title.
Players with a scoring title?
Yeah.
Close, but no.
May I draft Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Players with multiple scoring titles?
No.
Oh, I
unfortunately
hope
not.
so pissed.
This one's a little tricky, a little trickier than the last one. It was players with at least 25,000 career points.
Oh.
Why we started with Melo. Melo sitting there at 9th overall at 28.
Okay.
289.
So my other guess in my head was also like top 10 scoring all time.
Yeah,
Well,
it-
when you said close to scoring title, then I go, is it
Mm.
multiple? That's what threw me off a little bit. But also, I
would have probably given you scoring title. I would have probably given you that if it was multiple scoring titles or something. But
Yeah.
Okay. Next round. I'm gonna take Steve Kerr.
May I draft Tim Duncan?
No.
May I draft Steve Nash?
Yes.
Can I guess?
You can.
Player coaches.
That is correct. Well done. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Sweet.
All right. Another one. I'm glad I wrote some more of these. Good. Okay. The last ones are a little bit loose, so think outside the box a little bit. We're not, again, it's nothing that like players from Iowa or nothing.
Okay.
But just don't, the first time you guys played this, first 8 guesses that you all gave me were like, is it a player from the 86 this team? And it's never going to be that. It's never like a player from this exact roster. That's stupid and not fun. Okay.
Wasn't one of these a haircut situation?
That was a different game.
Oh,
That was a
yeah.
scouting report.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I remember that.
I'm gonna take Kevin Durant.
It's me, right?
Sure.
Sure.
Whatever.
I don't know, honestly.
Can I take Steph Curry?
You may not.
Okay, fine, whatever.
May I draft Boris Diaw?
I'd like to double check, please. Just a moment on this.
We stumped him.
Yes, you may take Boris Diaw.
I may take Boris Diaw.
Sorry, there's just names such out of left field. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yeah. That's, okay. Can I draft Timothy Duncan?
No, you may not.
May I draft Michael Jordan?
No, you may not.
May I draft Boris Diaw's so wild,
Yeah,
bro.
really.
And I
What
just-
the hell?
I just threw him out there.
That's
I really did.
so random. Whatever. Can I draft Dennis Schroeder?
I believe so. Let me double check, please.
Wow. Wow.
No.
You may. You may take Dennis Schroeder.
Okay, may I draft James Harden?
You may take James Harden. You want to guess? Do it. Burn it.
Are these Thunder players?
Bob, one pick, one guess.
Can I take Greg Oden?
I don't believe so, but let me double check. You may not take Greg Oden.
Then my guess would be players that shoot over 40% from the
Oh,
mid-range.
is it players like drafted after a certain year?
No. Players that have been traded. That's it. That's it. That's it.
God
All right, last one. We're well over an hour, so we're just having fun now. Last one. This one is loose. So
Loose.
just think
It's not like players that wear shoes.
different. No, it's not players that wear shoes. Think different.
Okay,
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Larry Bird. Should be Justin.
May I draft
Sure.
Jose Calderon?
No.
Can I draft Bill Russell?
No.
May I draft Austin Reeves?
No.
May I draft Kevin Durant?
No.
May I draft Steph Curry?
No.
May I draft Larry Bird?
I started with Larry Bird. Do you want to go again?
No, that was my... Okay. That was the whole point.
Players named Larry Bird. That'd be great.
Exactly. I was trying to get him. I was trying to get him on that one. That was gonna be it for sure. How about Blake Griffin?
No.
Can I draft Larry Hughes?
Yes.
Is these players named Larry?
No.
Damn it!
Oh no! Can I
But
draft?
Very close. Take another guy before you guess.
Can I draft
Justin has walked off the set.
Larry Nance Jr.?
Yes.
Oh my God! 3 Larrys.
What do they all have in common outside of Larry? Heads and hands in the basketball studio.
It's not Larry though.
It's not Larry. You were so close, Justin. So close.
Ah.
All right, so we have Larry Bird, Larry Nance Jr.
And Larry Hughes.
And Larry
and
Hughes.
Larry.
Guy's named
Hughes.
Larry. That's good. It's so close.
Oh, I think now I know it.
It's not people with blonde hair, is
No,
it?
but did you already draft? You already picked a player?
Yeah, that's how I got Larry Nance Jr.
I think I know it now, but
Guess. I need a guess.
I don't want to break the rules and tell you my guess.
Yeah, don't do that.
Players.
Give it to me, Bob. Come on now.
That are white.
Well, I don't think Larry Hughes or Larry Nance Jr. are, so
It begins with the
Damn
letter
it.
L.
it
isn't
is players
Yeah.
whose name starts with the letter L.
Man,
You were so close, Justin. That was
Oh.
really good. I thought someone would take LeBron. Anyways. So, we got all these
Oy.
points. We better gamble them away in. Props to you. What? This is this.
Here we are.
Here we are, folks.
folks.
Alrighty then. Trey's not here. We all started with 1,500 points, so Trey's in last place right now with 1,500 points.
It's okay.
That's how it works.
He'll make it up.
He'll make it up. He'll be fine. Bob and Michael are tied with 1,900 points.
Booyah.
Michael, you've chosen LeBron James's under at 27.5 versus the Warriors. Of your 1,900, how many are you betting?
450.
400 or 500? I thought it had to be in multiples of 100.
Last episode, you said multiples of 50.
Okay, there it is.
4 weeks
450 it is.
prior, you said 25.
I'm never right on the rules. We're playing loose with the rules, like in your game, where we played loose with the rule.
Why, you missed your game?
Yeah, is it loose with the rule? You know what I'm saying? Okay, Bob. Kevon Looney, his total rebounds are at 14.5. You're taking?
I will take, because that is such a great line. His under, I think he'll have 14. So
All
I'll take
right.
under
Looney's
14.5.
under 14.5 total rebounds versus the Lakers of 1,900 points. What are you betting?
Let's do 400.
400, a more respectable answer. I am taking Bam Adebayo's over at 18.5 versus the Knicks. I have 2,200 points, and I am betting 200 points.
Respectable.
That's not very respectable. That's not very
respectable.
respectable, in my opinion.
No,
very,
very respectable 200 points.
disrespectable.
Very respectable 200 points. That's all we have today, folks. That's what it is.
Disrespective.
Disrespective. I like it.
Disrespectable.
I'm on. New favorite word.
New words.
Disrespective.
Linkitude.
New like list.
New light.
Connected.
Linked.
Linktivity.
Linktivity.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Share with friends and follow us at @EA_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Add me on the ground.
Just a reminder, we are recording live from the EA studio.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
What do you have for the people?
It's just Monday, so everyone just have a great rest of your day. And good morning to all those listening on Tuesday. Hello. And touch the grass!
And then go buy a Touch the Grass tee at yaybasketball.com. Or a sticker or a mug or whatever you want. Justin, what do you got for the peeps?
Today for the peeps, I have, watch out for Jokic becoming the 15th greatest player of all time.
Hey, it's possible. Nuggets look really good.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We love you. And we're going to be back next week with another absolute hater, brother.
Fire.
Can't wait for it.
The best
Don't
episode?
forget, Yay Basketball.